Um, actually, I just went live, man. Nah, you good? Ain't nobody jumped in yet. I just started it. Hell, hopefully I'm operating it right while you're playing. Mhm. Oh, okay, okay. Let me see. Hey, you get a chance, jump in, man. Oh, okay. Hey. Oh, y'all are doing the auction. What's up, G Nut? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, well, all right, man. You be safe out there. All right, yo. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Gangsta Gangsta. Um, no man, what up? What up? What up? The link up top. Anybody want to jump in? The link up top. Um, been on some home time. Hell, I've been home a week. Um, tomorrow I'll be home a week. So been chilling. Get some things done on my other truck. Um, went and put 10 new tires on Blessed. Had a blowout last trip out, so I had to go ahead and nobody's playing with it because more than likely them the tires that came with the truck. So I figured I'd go ahead and put some more on there real quick. No needs playing with it. I hate getting stuck out there on the road. Me too. Went to Gatlinburg. Oh man, I know it was beautiful up there, man. I know it was beautiful up there. Mm. Me and the wife lived in Nashville for a little while, so we got a chance to go over to the mountains. It was nice. Matter of fact, we was contemplating about moving back to Nashville. Maybe even looking at some property in Florida. We're looking at some property right now, trying to expand a little bit. Um, yep, I went through El Cap. They didn't have no Michelin's where I went. I ended up going getting some Bridgestones. I heard couple of people talking about it. Bridgestones ain't too bad of a tie, so yeah, it is what it is. But had to pour money in the Becky. Had put all new brakes on Becky, a couple of airbags. Still live outside of Nashville. No, you still live outside of Nashville? I don't. I stayed in Bellevue. I stayed in Bellevue, pretty much the west side. Two exits from that Petro, where they do the landstyle inspections at. That's where I was. Used to be a loyal member to oh yes you do. Okay. I used to be a loyal member at Royal Gun Range. Oh, man, I used to go over there and burn up some shells until COVID artillery went up. So yeah, it's hard to go to shooting ranges when you need to say that artillery these days. And I feel sorry for them guys got them ARs because it's hard to find those bullets because it's a common rifle as well as the 9 millimeter. Oh man, 9 millimeter bullets just went. It's hard to find them. You find some, they out there. Loveless Cafe, yeah. Me and the wife used to go there. Love their biscuits and they preserve. Um, it was another place downtown. Um, when you come back down, oh yeah, definitely had to go blow a few rounds over there. Definitely had to go. That for people that don't know, if you ever come through Nashville, um, it's a shooting range there called Royal Range. It used to be an old movie theater. One of the nicest gun ranges I done been to. They're real nice. They give tactical classes, all kind of stuff. You can look them up on Facebook as well as YouTube. And you can rent a machine gun in there. It's a nice little spot. It's a nice little spot. But like I was saying, post some money in the Blessed. I mean, post some money in the Becky. Um, need to get an airbag leveler done. I got the cab airbags redone in it. Um, had to get some wiring for the lights done. I'm still having a little issue with the airbag. I don't think it's not the airlines going to the airbag. It's more so the sensor. I think it's some kind of sensor that raise it and lower it. I got to figure it out. But I ain't get on here to really talk about nothing. Just tell y'all I've been goofing off, y'all. I've been goofing off for real. Um, Wanted to get back out today. Really didn't see nothing. I'll probably end up leaving back out Monday and get on the road and probably stay out through the holiday, through the 4th of July holiday. So if any of y'all got some barbecue going on, let gangsters know I rode through your city. You know, come eat up off y'all grill that day. Um, because I'm probably gonna stay out on the road until like the 15th, and then after that, I'm going over to Dallas to go visit my son to make sure he okay. Well, he's okay. He just had his first kid. OG solid, stay solid. What up? What up? What up? Anybody want to jump in here? You can. I know a lot of people just don't like to hear gangster. You know, but my little comment on this is everybody wants to be an owner operator XYZ, but they really don't know all the ins and outs. You know, when you work for yourself, that's with any job. When you work for yourself, you're not making money every day. And actually, you work more working for yourself than you do for a company. You know, not speaking just about driving. You know, any company, you work at a warehouse, you work for somebody. That's a regular 9 to 5. You know, a regular 9 to 5. You work your little 8 hour shift. You go on to the house. The person that owns the business, he got paperwork, this and that. It's a lot you got to put into it. So going over to this owner operator thing, when you're on your home time, your downtime, you get a chance to visit your local mechanic, instead of getting ripped out there on the highway. I done got ripped several times, man. I've paid $1,200 for a starter. Jay, what's up with you? What up with you? Nope, Becky ain't paid off yet, man. Got a few more months on her, hopefully by the end of the year. You bring it in, get your local mechanic, because like I said before, them people on the highway, they will rip you off. Had an AC unit go out. I think I spent like another $1,600 between the air compressor, the label, the guy to go get the part, because your TA, they done got slick with it. I heard they done changed it though. One time TA was saying that you couldn't bring your own parts. As far as I know, that didn't change now. Now you can bring your own parts. That is what I learned more of now. How do you turn a wrench and the back office side being overrun? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Stay solid. As much as you can learn to do yourself, try to do it yourself. Belts and stuff like that, keep extra belts in the truck. If you don't know how to put it on, that'll save you on the roadside. Because I'm going to tell you, you could tell them guys what truck you got. You call up roadside, they're going to pull up on you. After you done told them what you got, they're going to pull up on you. Don't bring it. Say, I got to eyeball it. They eyeball it, look at it, then charge you to go back to get it, then charge you to come back to you. Matter of fact, my driver ripped the airline. He ripped the airline down in Orlando last week. Called up this place, cost me $366 putting the airline on that truck. One airline. I ain't talking about the whole package. I ain't talking about the red, the blue, and the power cord, the green. No, just the red line. Charged me $366. So saying all that to say, when you're out there on that road, if you can, make it back home. When you're out there on the road, carry parts with you. If you can make it back to your mechanic, and get back there, that's your best option. That's your best option. I got 3 mechanics. If I really need some big heavy duty work done, overhead stuff like that, anything specialized in Cummins, I go down to Griffin, Georgia. Got Haggai. Haggai works on a lot of people's trucks. Makes sense. A couple of other YouTubers. He's well known. He's well known for doing other stuff too, but we gonna leave that alone. And I hear he does a great job at it. as well as I have another mechanic. Have you noticed? Oh yeah, I get to that in a second, OG. Um, as well as I have a mechanic that I can call up here, come to me. You know, I use him for like little simple stuff, wheel seals, this and that. You know, airbag installation, minor electrical work, and then I have a third mechanic. I have to go to his shop, but he really stays he really stays busy. No man, you talking about Haggai? Yeah, he specializes in ISX. He specialized. Now I can't tell you this for a fact. I think he worked on the older Detroits too. The reason I say that because I done went there and seen the 60s sitting up there in his outside his shop. So I think he worked on that too. My phone tripping. As well as you know, he's real good. Tear downs, overhead, stuff like that. You have to schedule with him, bro. That's a massive fish. We got that for the wife. That's a 125-gallon tank. Got a few fish in there. I'll say about 20, and that's all I can really add at this time because anybody else you put in, they kill it. They territorial. But let's go back to OG Stay Solid. You was asking about Haggai is in Griffin, Jake. OG Stay Solid. Becky is going good. I put it on a dedicated account. I put it on a Walmart account. It's on a pretty much a flat rate of 350 miles a day. And anything you go over that truck makes more. But on average, God has been good. After the driver's paid, I can make anywhere from 11 to 1,600 a week on that truck, and it's been high as 18. And honestly, they just went up on that contract. That's after truck driver, fuel, insurance, this and that. So I've been blessed in that aspect of it. But literally, the money that I done made on Becky, I done pulled it right back into her. Like I said, what place in Griffin? Look up Haggai. Look up diesel mechanics in Griffin, Georgia. Look up diesel mechanics down there in Griffin, Georgia. And I think I added on to this video. I really didn't mean to. I think I should have created a whole brand new one. Actually, no, I guess I didn't. They say I've been live for an hour, 12 minutes. I know I ain't. Come on, let's see who we can get to jump up in here. Oh, that's awesome. Glad. Yeah, it's profitable, man. It's profitable. Actually, if I can add another truck to account, I would love to. Looking around, but everybody know, like I know, truck prices going through the roof right now. That don't make no sense, man. Trucks used to get for 20 grand. They want 30, 40 now. You know, I've seen some outrageous prices on like a 2007 Columbia. I want to say, dude wanted 50,000 for it. Like, dude, really? Well, what do you think this is? It ain't nothing like this. You know what I mean? It's like, but everybody know, like I know anybody been in this game. Y'all have been, a lot of y'all have been in the game longer than me. When the market's like this, everybody jumping in. But once the market go back, adjust itself and correct itself, we gonna see who gonna survive and who not. You know, pretty much. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till next year. I'm trying to find. Man, there was a guy around the corner had an XL Classic, and by the time I got my pockets right to go up and buy a cab, he got rid of it. Man, oh, I was mad. It was a real nice one. They had the diamond. What you call that? The diamond interior. You know, with the buttons like I got in the like I got in Blessed. They had that in there. It was nice. Got to grow, bro. Be safe. Have a good one. Have to join you on another live feed soon. Yes, sir. You be safe out there, Nomad. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Nomad channel. He has a good channel. He's spitting some good content over there. Real good content. But yeah, back to the other subject about how people don't realize what all it takes to be an owner operator. Now at Landstar, we're kind of spoiled. You know, we really don't have to do our IFTA. We don't have to sit around and shop for insurance prices. You can if you want to. That's one good thing about being over here. Eric, what's up with you? I'll get back to you in a second, man. Oh yeah, nobody got a beautiful classic, man. Beautiful. Um, people really don't realize what all it takes to be an owner operator. You're not making money every day. I've been home a week, so that means no revenue coming up in here. But I guarantee you, between tires, not tires, we ain't gonna count that because I'm gonna have them put. I got that on L count. That's gonna be a monthly payment. I mean, a weekly payment plan for me. 10 tires. I want to say it ran me 62, but by the time L cap get that discount, it'll probably cheapen out some. Um, but between brakes, this and that, wheel seal, I probably dropped like 2,500, $3,000 on Becky. Becky's running pretty good. She got that Cummins, that 400 horsepower, so she do pretty good. But that account that I got on, sometimes they like loading up with 44,000 pounds of water. Becky don't like that. Actually, I had to take the headache rack off of her so she can be able to pull some of them refills and whatever else they have over there at Walmart. Let's see. At last listing, yeah, Landstar. Oh man, what happened, G Nut? But I hope you want to sit and up, because they will do it to you over here. They will do it to you. Oh man, I wish I could go over there and do 6 weeks in Costa Rica. That's somebody that got a real vacation plan there. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on. We got a superstar in the house, y'all. Let's add him in.
Knock, knock.
Hey, what's up with you, Sage?
Hey.
What up, it's your boy Gangsta G-Way, better known as Nathan Galloway on YouTube, setting the stage for the Great Freight Sage.
Hey.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all check out Sage's channel. He be giving out some valuable information on the brokerage side as well as the business side that we don't think about. So tell everybody about your channel, Sage.
Yeah, well, just so everybody kind of knows, I am I have my CDL. I drove for Landstar, drove for FedEx Custom Critical, and then I was also a Landstar agent. And I own my own brokerage now, so I've been all the way through it, all the way from driver all the way up. But now I specialize in over-dimensional freight. So anything that's over-dimensional, that's me. That's what I pretty much do now. So on my channel, what I do is I teach you guys how to become either, if you have a carrier, I teach you guys how to become brokers. Get your MC up and running for your brokerage, and I also teach broker classes and stuff like that, so you can understand what's going on from everything from the business mindset all the way up from driving the truck, owning a truck. I've owned my own carrier. I've had my own brokerage. I worked for that Landstar company that a couple guys here work for, and I was even a Landstar agent, and I still got some connections over there. So, yeah, besides that, are we talking OD? What are we talking here?
Just talking about how owner-operators do. Everybody want to be an owner-operator, but they don't realize all the work you put into it when you're not on the road. I had to put my truck in the shop. You know the routine.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I talk about that a lot. Is everybody wants all the money. They want all the money. But some of the stuff they have to think about is it's what you're not paying for, you're doing, and that's time also, right? Mm-hmm. That commodity of time is expensive. So sometimes leasing to a company like a Landstar or stuff like that, it still gives you more time to be able to go out and do your stuff, look for your loads, and handle your business. And a lot of times it's rough.
Yeah, and a guy like you really know time is money.
It absolutely is. Every day of the week. Somebody asked if I'm based where I'm based. I'm based in Maine. To be honest, don't tell anybody, but I'm actually in Maine. So no, and that's it's a lot of stuff. I mean, downtime with your trucks, and that's the stuff that can actually put some people out of business. Is that downtime with that truck and problems that you run into. I mean, I knew a guy that, he went out and bought a brand new truck, brand new 8-axle step deck stretch, and then he also got a 12-axle tractor, right? And he had customers and he was ready to go. And that brand new truck, he couldn't get it out of the shop. It was in the shop once a month, brand spanking new truck.
Yeah.
And, he ended up basically having to let the trailers go. And because even though they covered, everything was being covered under warranty, who's covering the cost of the truck and trailer a month? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I say to a lot of people, we prepare for the breakdown, but we're not really mad about the breakdown. We're mad about the loss of revenue. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, and that's the biggest thing. It's like you got that bill from that, and that's the other thing too. It's like you got to also say, show me what's broke, show me. And it's a lot of times, a lot of drivers will let just sit back and wait for the mechanic to do it. And sometimes you got to be that squeaky wheel, and you got to be saying, hey, where's my truck? Where's my truck? Where's my truck? Where's my truck? Because in a nice way, don't be storming there, guns blazing, but at least you go in there and say, hey, we need to get this moving. How much time are we looking at? Because that downtime for that truck, that's your money. You know what I mean? How you pay for that truck is when that truck's rolling. So that's something that you guys want to think about is that. And then what happens if you were under a load?
Oh, that didn't happen to me, man. I don't know if I told you the story real quick.
No.
I had a nice paying load. I would say $6,500 for like 700 miles. I did all the miles but 94. My truck went into a forest region and then told me to shut it off. 94 miles. I had to go ahead and pay for the tow. They towed my trailer to another location. And to repower that load, I had to pay that person $2,500 to repower 94 miles, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Another aspect that people sometimes don't think about is that breakdown.
Yeah.
Under a load.
Yeah.
It all
go ahead.
It all eventually comes into play is that these aspects of businesses, everybody wants all the money and they want to rock and they want to roll and they're grossing all these numbers. This is the stuff that you also have to think about being in this with yourself. This is what you're saving for and you're putting away for, because when this stuff happens, it can be a gut punch, knock the wind right out of you.
Yeah. You have a lot of guys out here. Once again, I want to be an owner operator, and they're one breakdown away from being out of business. Especially when the market is good like this, please put some of that money up because you're going to need it. And stay up on your truck maintenance. That's another thing I always say. I say, if I get my oil change once a month. A lot of people say, oh man, that's just ridiculous. I keep somebody under my truck at least once a month. So I always got eyes on my engine.
Yeah, at a time you want to. Time that you definitely want. If you got somebody in your truck once a month and they're not supposed to be there, that's a little different. But at least when they're there, when they're supposed to be there, that's kind of important. So. Yeah.
And it's important to find you your own mechanic. Because, being out there in that road, like I was saying before, man, I done got ripped. $700 for a fuel filter. Don't tell nobody.
Wow.
Once again, told him what kind of fuel filter I had. He still came out there without the fuel filter. Looked at it, said, you need this. Charged me to go back and get it. Came back with it. Yeah, beat me out of money, man. Beat me out of money.
That's times like that, you almost want to say, you're going to have to pay me to not beat you with this brick. You know what I mean? At some point, charging has got to be like, oh, I forgot the filter. Well, go back and get it. Okay, you're going to pay me for that, right? No. Hang on, let me make a bunch of mistakes and you can pay me. Sometimes it's dumbfounding. So... And some of the, now there's some aspects that you actually might be able to fight those charges. You know what I'm saying? So I told him what I needed. He came out. He didn't have it. He had to go get it.
Yeah.
But that's it too.
What's up to Shape? Shape, jump in if you want. Tell us a little about what's going on in the news right now. I haven't caught any videos here lately. I've been lazy on home time. What's some big stuff you came across?
Well, there's a couple of things. One of the things that obviously the infrastructure bill has made it to the point of Congress is the next to vote on it, right? They got that infrastructure bill. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal because that's going to be a lot of money for building. So that's going to pound freight when it comes to construction equipment, open deck type equipment, because things are going to start to be built. So which is a good thing because you got money towards fixing roads and stuff like this. So everything from Jersey barriers are going to need to be moved and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
So that once that goes through, which I think is going to go through somewhere around the 4th of July in that area. So that's what that'll be a big one because that's when things are going to start to kick off, and I'm finally starting to kick off. Thank God. It's been taking. I'm still an active broker, so. But yeah, where's all the OD people? I thought we were talking OD in here.
Actually, no, I haven't talked about over the mission. Matter of fact, I need to give that guy a call. I placed the call yesterday. You know what I'm talking about. Got a voicemail, so I'm sitting back. For anybody who didn't know, he also teaches classes on how to become a broker.
I do. I go over the operations and you know, I show people how to answer the phone because that's what we do. And then, no, just kidding. No, I go over all the aspects of it, and there's a lot more to it than just answering the phone, as you guys can see on my site, on my YouTube page. But yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of aspects to it, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are putting out videos that I do a challenge, and anybody who's taken a broker freight course from any other YouTuber. All you have to do is shoot me an email with your contact number. I'll give you a call. I'll ask you 3 questions. And if you can pass my 3 questions, you're good to go. I have not had one person answer my 3 questions. Not one. Not one person who has taken classes from other YouTubers can answer my 3 questions. And my 3 questions are questions that you absolutely need to know without a doubt before you start brokering a single load. All of the 3 questions are that. And all 3, like I said, if you don't know it, you shouldn't be doing it. Or you're going to end up that bad broker that gets the driver in trouble. And eventually gets you in trouble, and then you'll have to pay and things like that. So, but.
We got a question. I'm tired of reefer. Would you recommend skipping flatbed and step and go straight to RGN? I wouldn't skip flatbed. I wouldn't skip flatbed or step deck. I wouldn't. What's your opinion? Because RGN is a different animal.
Yeah. Okay. So going from first of all, you're going to need to secure equipment. Securing equipment on a flatbed is your first step to learning how to properly secure equipment. Not knowing how to do that, you'll understand that a step deck is also a specialized piece of equipment, right? But that RGN's a whole nother world. And I've seen a lot of RGNs become teeter-totters because people don't understand how low that thing is, right? And they'll go over a high part of a road and their back wheels are off the ground, their front wheels are off the ground. Now they're just a big, 80,000 pound teeter-totter. And it is not stepping into that RGN world and not understanding the equipment and knowing how to properly run the equipment can get you in a lot of trouble. There's no leeway to that RGN. You're approximately anywhere from 18 inches to 24 inches from the ground. So everything from curbs to everything on that ground can affect your spot. It can affect that freight. And if that freight's already 12 foot wide and your trailer's 8.6 wide and it's only 18 inches from the ground, making those turns is a whole nother, as you can probably understand, making those turns is a whole nother world than being 4 feet off the ground or 5 feet off the ground with that step deck.
Yeah.
Because you're going over things with that step deck. If there's a little bit of swing or a Jersey barrier with a flatbed, you're kind of over the top of that. You make a swing in a tight curb or you try to back up or do something, and that trailer tips to the right or tips to the left as you're tweaking that trailer, you're going to drag that freight and you're going to damage that freight. So it's more than just driving, and you can explain that, right? It's things, and it's a slower movement turns, and it's like that spread axle flatbed when it's heavy. You can't jackknife it or you rip that spread axle, right? So it's that slower movements and understanding that trailer lean that can put you into a bind. The next thing you know, you got a claim on your freight because you took a turn a little too hard and the trailer leaned.
Yeah. Just especially like you were saying, when you're working with the third axle in the back, you're a little bit longer, it's slower turning. And if you can't get around that curve, you don't have that much clearance. Let me get the camera right. You don't have that much clearance. You scrape the whole bottom of that trail, and like you said, it'll start tilting on you. And depending on what you got on there, It can get real ugly real fast.
They sure can. They're looking for that. They know. I mean, when you show up with a shipper with a double drop, somebody or a receiver with a double drop, they know what the first things they're going to be looking for. They're going to be lifting it up in the air and they'll be like, "Oh, what's that? I just paid $250,000 for this, and you scraped it? I don't think so."
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And a lot of people that don't realize too. Let me give a shout out real quick. Lean Truck in the house. What's up with you? You can jump in if you want. Call me cool. Y'all make sure y'all check out these guys' channels. You can jump in if you want, fella. What a lot of people don't realize too, I think one of the biggest things that you learn starting at flatbed and step deck before you get to the RGN, it's much higher off the ground.
Right.
And your thing when you're dealing with oversized load, you have to have depth perception.
Right.
You see a mail, you got a 14-foot wide load, and you see a mailbox 2 feet off the road. Listen,
it was the mailbox went.
yeah. And and especially when you're dealing with something that wide. Driving down the road and you have a pilot car like a U.S. highway. We ain't talking about the interstate. You have a U.S. highway. You have a pilot car in the front. You get on these little narrow 2-lane highways. Another semi coming. He might have to find an area. Your pilot car tell that other semi you coming.
Right.
He's going to find an area to get over to let you over. So that depth perception is real critical when you start doing RGN work.
And the other thing too is if you're stepping up to an RGN, I'm going to say 90% of your freight's going to be oversized, right? And that's 90%. It should be more like 95. But if you've got a step deck and a flatbed, you can do legal freight. It's you know what I mean? But if you're stepping right in, that means you're stepping right into oversized freight. With their whole purpose of that RGN is oversized freight. And now that I got no problem driving it. Well, can you read a permit? Do you understand? Because every state permit looks differently, right? So if 90% of your freight is oversized and you don't understand the permits and when to ramp, when to not ramp, what interstate you're looking for. Because this is the other thing too is, guys, when you do oversized, you got to know how to read a map. Because that GPS, it ain't oversized friendly a lot of times, right? So you got to know where you're going and be able to say, okay, I have to take 135 until into the town of Johnsontown, and then from there I got to find 21 north. And then you show up in Johnsontown, and guess what? There's no 21 north. It says 21 east and 21 west. Which way do I go? Well, you got to know that north and east run together and south and west run together. And so you're like, okay, even though it says east, I know that I can go either east and that'll also be north. So it's not just about the securement and the actual driving of the truck. It's now about a whole new aspect in regards to reading your permit, because you get off that permit. Woo! Whip, whip.
It can get ugly. It can get ugly.
And now you're off that permit and you got a 15-foot tall piece and you got a 12-foot bridge. And it's very difficult to lift a bridge nowadays. It takes a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
Lots of trucks have tried to lift that bridge. I can show you pictures.
And another thing about it, especially not on the main interstate, if you got that deck stretched out, like I'm 78.7 long truck and trailer.
Right.
If I have to stretch my well open, that makes me even longer. And in the scenario that you just explained, it ain't making no U-turns anywhere in those things.
No. No. Especially with your tractor, right? You got a nice long tractor. So now you got the long tractor, the long trailer, and you got 80, you can, let's say 70,000 pounds on there. It is not a U-turn friendly vehicle. It is just not. I need the police officers here to help back me up because I'm stuck. And that's the phone call you're making, to be honest. And then they're going to say, no problem, driver. We're going to do a level 1 after we get you off this street. Oh.
Yeah.
Experience. So it's a learning curve, and it's a lot more than just that, chain it down, throw the tarp on it, and rock and roll. It's every state permit, of course, they can't look the same. They got to all look different, right? Because every state has its own way to write up a permit.
Yeah. You have, with the routing, you have some states that are itemized as 4 miles from this road to this road, make a left. some states just say this road, this road, this road. You're like, oh wait.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, oh Lord, what route am I looking for? Where'd that permit go? You know. And then, you know, you have pole cars in front of you or escorts behind you. And even though, I don't know, they're supposed to know where they're going, they take a wrong turn and you take a wrong turn with them. Well, guess what? DOT man's still going to ticket you.
Yeah, you're responsible. Regardless if you have the pole car, the 2-pilot car, you're responsible for that load.
Right.
As the driver. Yeah.
You can't have the, are we scaring you yet? Where's he at? Did he disappear? He might have went away. Where'd he go? He's in here. He's in here. He's got enough. Now he wants to do securement. I'd probably just go to a carrier that does flatbed and let them train you, right?
Yeah. Landstar actually gives a securement class, and they just give you the basic concept of a chain, 7,000 pounds, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Certain straps. Just really give you the basics. I learned a lot hands-on from other guys helping me out, like Calvin, etc. Sage, take the show for 1 second. I got to answer my wife. Hold on.
I'm not sure. I'll give it a shot. So, but besides that, it's a lot. It's a process, and it's not something and that's why they make a lot of money. It's not only because of the equipment they have. A lot of times, it's because the things that they have to go through. And if you're quoting it right, you should be making a lot of money. So it's never really paid by the mile. It's paid by the amount of time you're going to. It's almost day rating yourself every day, you know, on top of your mileage pay. Because if you have escorts, you're paying them by the mile. But what you want to know is, okay, I'm going to be on this load for 5 days. What do I need for 5 days? So it's just one of those understanding what you're doing and being able to do it. So let me see here. I got you back? All right.
Yeah. Another thing I try to look at, like you were just saying, when I'm pulling my permits, they give you an option. You submit it to that state, what route you want to take through there. Once I submit it and then they come back and say, no, you got to take this and that. I try to follow that route on Google Maps, especially if I had to extend my well, so I can really look, especially you get into that Pennsylvania area. Those roads get kind of narrow and people like to parallel park out there. So I really watch them turn my route. And if I see a route, I will call back to the permit people, whether it be West Coast, Comdata. Hey, listen, I don't think I can make this turn. Can resubmit this?
Right. And that's that's your job. If you can't make a turn, it's your job to call and have that changed also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, because they still blame that, they'll still put it out there for the driver. Hey, you're still responsible to make sure, even though we gave you this route, you're still responsible. And then there's states like Michigan. They'll give you whatever route they want. They'll give you whatever route you want. I'm sorry. They'll give you whatever route you want. If there's a 12-foot bridge and you put in for that route, they'll give you whatever route you want. It's completely your job. So a lot of companies make you get a route survey in Michigan just because most states will go back and say, hey, you can't go this way. There's a low bridge. Not Michigan. Michigan's like, go wherever you want, driver. Here, tell me which way you want to go. And next thing you know, you're stuck underneath a bridge. And they're like, oh, you gave us the route. What do you want me to do? And then it's so some states don't work with you. Some states like Texas, they'll route you, but other states, everything's bigger in Texas. But yeah, so I don't know how many OD people we have in here or how many people we put to sleep.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up about the survey. Everybody know I'm new to the RGN Oversized. Well, RGN Oversized. So when you start dealing with RGN Oversized, you start talking about height. And I didn't realize that I had to pay for surveys.
Yes.
Now, you have two different surveys. You have a survey that somebody sit at their desk.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You have a book survey with somebody looking at Google Earth. And then you have an actual driven survey where they actually went out and recorded everything that was on there, took pictures and verified, okay, here's the pictures, here's the measurements, and here's that. And that's an actual driven survey. And there's two different prices.
Oh, yeah. Roughly, the actual desk survey, you can get it back same day, really, unless they're behind. What's the time frame on an actual go-out survey, if you can enlighten me on that one?
Okay, so go out survey. A lot of times you're going to have, hey, when can you go out and do this survey? And so your time frame from there is when he becomes available. So if he's escorting another vehicle and he's not free until next week, then you'll have to wait that week for him to be able to do the survey. And then I normally tell people to calculate approximately 400 miles a day or less. You know what I mean? Because he's going to have to get out of the truck, check heights, get out and look at different things. So anywhere from 350 to 400 miles a day, depending on how far your route is. You know what I mean? If you're going, so a lot of states, you could pretty much get in and out within, let's say, 300 miles or something. Then you just calculate a day rate, whatever his day rate is. Then he's got to type it up. So you give him a day or so for typing it up. So it could be a week. It could be 2 weeks, depending on when he's available and how in depth the process is. Now, he might go out and be like, no, you ain't making this route. And it might be his first turn out of the. I've had surveys. Okay, we need to do a survey. He made 2 turns and he's like, we're done now. What do you mean we're done? We can't go any further. I'm like, what? And it was just, they had a bridge that we couldn't, we had to turn and go this way, and we had to go back to the state, ask to go the other way and go around the block. And then he says, okay, let's try again. And then he's charging you every time. That's why surveys can be, you want to try to do a plus survey situation. Like I normally calculate one survey for free is in my quote. It's not free, but it's calculated in the first quote. And I'll say any additional survey is at cost. Because if I got to do 6 surveys by the time I get this thing delivered, which I have done, my most has been 12. I've had to do 12 surveys to get, because it would go, we'd submit the survey and either we would say, nope, that's not good enough, or we would give them a route and they would say, nope, you can't go that way because there's a festival or a party going on. And they'd be like, okay, then give us another route. And we're going back and forth with the state to try to say, which way can we go? Because anytime you do a super load, anytime you do a normal load, the state has the right to approve the permit without the counties involved. Anytime you do a survey, each and every county has to sign off on that permit for a super load. So they'll go through the county. So if the county's having a festival or a parade or something, they'll be like, nah, you can't go through our county, go around us. And now you can find a different county. And then you have to ask permission from that county and so on and so on. So it all depends on what's going on, what time of the year, construction, festivals, and things like that to be approved for these things. Or they might say, yes, you can go, but you can only travel through here on Monday and Tuesday. Because Wednesday is a party, Wednesday's a festival, and you can't. We're setting up for a weekend festival on Wednesday, so you can't go that way.
Yeah. So, I wish I dealt with a lot more agents over here. We call them agents and brokers like you, because some people will see this stuff out. I'm just gonna snatch it off the DAC board, put a price on it. Yo, can you make this run? And that broker agent don't know nothing about what you have to go through. Like I saw a load on the board the other day, and luckily, I'm still in my learning stage. Mm-hmm. I call up Landstar Heavy Haul and run it through them. The load paid $5,500.
All right, don't give me the dimensions. I want to see if I can do it in my head. Go ahead.
If I can remember the dimensions right, it was 12.6.
Okay.
And I want to say 11.11 wide.
All right.
And it fitted in the well. That's all I can remember how long it was.
From where to where?
It was from South Carolina up to somewhere in Pennsylvania, north of Philadelphia.
North of Philadelphia. 12 fit in the well. 11. So you're gonna need. Do you remember how many miles about?
I want to say it was like 6-7.
And they had how much on it? 55?
Yeah.
The broker had 55.
Yes.
All right. So let me think. So we got South Carolina. Any weight on it?
Yeah. Actually, it was 59,000.
Okay. I probably would have been somewhere around 8,500, $9,000.
I might be wrong on the width, but I'm gonna say this: I had to pay 2 police departments.
Right.
After I ran it through Heavy Haul. Yeah.
Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
I'm paying right out of my head.
Yeah.
4,000 each.
Huh?
They get you 4,000 each.
Put it this way: I don't forgot the exact number, but I was $3,200 in permits and escorts.
Yeah. So I bet you they probably got you for like 15. Then you had let's do it. How many escorts did you run? Just one?
Oh, just one, but it was 2 in Philadelphia.
Right. So you got 1,500. Yeah. So that 5,500 that should have been, like I said. So I would have been like 8, because I also factor a little bit because that's a pain in the butt setting up the police. Right. That's more work.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured $2,000 for police in Pennsylvania, 55, 65, 75. And then I figured an extra 1,000 for your extra escort. It was 85, 9. That's what, bam.
Hold on. Let me get this piece of paper. I had it wrote down. Hold on.
I did that in my head.
Yeah. And I wish it was more guys like you out there. Yeah, I didn't break it down. I just wrote 3,200.
And the minute you said Pennsylvania, you heard me go, "Oh, hang on."
Yeah.
and then they didn't put troopers on you; they put locals on you, right? Or sheriffs or locals.
Yeah, it was locals on the Philly police.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. I left out Delaware. I think that was the route I had to take.
Yes.
Yeah, I left out Delaware. Yeah. It was crazy, man.
Well, that too is that agent doesn't sit down and say, okay, he's going to need an escort. He's going to need an extra escort here. Okay, let's factor. And I probably would have said, look, I'm thinking we need police, but let's be honest, this needs to be 7 plus police. But if you want me to go in police, I'm going to be high. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want me to guess what the police are going to be, I ain't going to lose money.
Yeah.
You're welcome to do a plus situation. And what a plus situation is means I'm going to bill you the actual cost of the police after we deliver. And that way you know the actual cost.
Yeah.
A lot of customers want turnkey, and it's just like, okay, I'll guess, but it's going to be high.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what do you want me to do? Take a loss on it? No, I don't think so, Tim. So as soon as you said Pennsylvania, I knew there was going to be police in Philly, because you said Philadelphia. And there's another county in there that always wants police. I can't remember the name of the county.
Yeah, you do that Northeast a lot. So I mean, you know that area very well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you took that for 55. It probably took you 2 days. You held something wide and heavy on your truck, and you ended up making, by the time you were done, $1,500, right?
Yeah. It's crazy, you know. Luckily, we have the heavy haul department. I know they probably tired of me now. Like, this guy's calling again.
No, that's what they're there for. Like I said, as a Landstar agent, that is what they're there for. Because the problem is what it hurts. Because what happens is if you were to take a load and next thing you know you're negative on the load, that's bad. Because they understand that they make money off of you, right? They make a percentage. So they need to keep you thriving and getting the job done. You can't be held up in a scale house because you don't have enough money to pay the police off this load, so that's their job.
Yeah, the police want their com check right then and there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can't, they're not like, oh, you can bill us. Yeah, I don't think so. Police don't play, and they're the police.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the issue is that some of the reason they take the percentage, you pay for that percentage, you pay 35% for them, is for that service. Use it. And that's my big thing with Landstar drivers is if you're paying a percentage, they're not taking it from you. They're not taking 35%. You're paying them 35%. And for that 35%, you're getting things. And one of the things you get as an oversized driver with Landstar is access to the heavy haul department. Use it. And then you decide if now you don't have to go in for that exact price, but at least now you have an idea. Okay, this is what it should be. I can maybe come down 1,000 off of this, but I'm not coming down anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can work with that number and negotiate a little bit with it, but that's what that department is for. Use it. You pay for it. Use it.
Yeah,
I tell a lot of drivers, call them. If you have a problem, call them. Do not assume a Landstar agent knows what they're doing. I used to be one. I left because the agents didn't know what they're doing, and I did, so I moved on because I was competing against people who had no idea what they were doing. Heavy haul knows what they're doing. Call them. Cover yourself. It's your company, and you have the right to use them. You pay for that type of that service. Call them.
Now a lot of the oversized stuff that broker out. Those are your direct customers, so you know this freight pretty much.
Yeah, I've been doing direct customers for about 15 years. So
Okay.
I don't move any. Very rarely another brokerage will call me and say, "Can you help us?" Like I have an agreement with C.H. Robinson that when they get certain things, they will call me and say, "Hey, can you handle this for us? Because it's kind of big and we don't want to screw this up." And next thing you know, I'm helping them handle it, or I'm handling it through them. But besides that, I don't have brokers. They're not my customers. Direct customers are mine.
Right. So I just don't like dealing with the ones that's snatching it directly off those DAC boards, and they be like, "Oh, we need to put a quote. They'll call me and ask me, "Can you put a quote on this?" It's like, ain't this your job?
Yeah, just say, here's my quoting line and give them heavy haul. I'd be like, yeah, I've got an actual quoting line. Hang on, it's 1-800-872-9400. See, I memorized the number. Ask for heavy haul.
Mm-hmm.
There's your quoting service. Stupid.
Yeah. They want me to come in with a low number. They say, "Okay, we booking you." No. No.
Right. And now heavy haul might be high on the price, and you might be able to do it for a little better because it's someplace you want to go or you're moving along, but it's still a reference. It should be used as a reference, because I have seen drivers go broke taking loads. I mean, lose their crap, all of it, by taking loads. I saw a Landstar driver. Last name was Lark. Anyways, an agent said, "Oh, if you go out and buy a 12 axle, I'll have all kinds of freight for you." He had no freight for him. Went out and bought the 12 axle. He had no freight for him, none. And they jump he trusted a Landstar agent, and he lost the trailer. Or you run into places like Connecticut, and you're like, "Oh, I'm going to, and Connecticut, you can only be certain super loads. You can only travel Connecticut on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if you show up there Thursday afternoon and you think you're going to be able to roll Friday, you're waiting until Tuesday."
Yeah.
And you got escorts. You can have a lot of stuff. And it's just that downtime of 4 days you didn't expect on a load that could break you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing, what people don't realize about escorts and pilots, not only you paying them per mile, you're paying for their hotel while you sleep in the truck.
Right. And you're paying them to drive to that hotel, wherever that hotel is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You covering that mileage. And
back to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they'll offer you, "Hey, you want me to shoot you to the steakhouse I know 12 miles up the road?" You're paying for that ride for dinner.
Yeah. He just became an Uber driver. It's like, wait, what? And that's the thing too. Little did you know, he stuck the little taxi sign on top while you weren't looking, and then drove you out there, and then here's your invoice. It's like, what just happened here? Yeah, why don't our miles match up? I mean, you've got an extra 50 miles. What happened here? Well, state, don't you?
Yeah. And they notice that if you green, which like I was, you find out the hard way. You find out the hard way.
Oh, you forgot the water? Yeah, I'll jump in. I'll take you there too. So, so it's a lot of it's a process, and it's a big learning curve that if you jump into that, you can take a whooping before you figure out what's going on.
Yeah. And it's a different, whole different setup from going from step deck over to RGN. You got to get new chains, new straps. Right. It's different equipment. Matter of fact, I need to upgrade the 1/2-inch chains now because I find myself doubling up on chains.
Right. You deal with more weight now, and those chains. And remember, if you're hauling a van or reefer, straps are on the strap. It'll tell you what the strap is rated for, right? So, and then certain chains, there's ratings for the chains. I used to have a list that my drivers carried. I don't remember it. But chain size 3/8, 1/2-inch, and all this other stuff are all rated for certain weight. So when you're breaking these things out, you have to say, okay, well, this weighs 40,000 pounds, so I need this many chains and this many chains, and and you have to be able to chain them there and stuff. So not having the right chains, now you're busting out like 18 chains compared to 8 or something because you don't have the right size chains.
Yeah,
and That's why I don't do a lot of heavy. I do a lot of light things. Like we throw a lot of straps, and stuff like that. But like I said, it's not an easy job. It's toting those chains. They ain't no joke.
Sure enough ain't. Sure enough ain't. And when you unchain them and pull them to the other side, you better watch out because they coming real fast.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say I got a root canal done because of a chain once.
Oh man,
it came a lot faster than I thought it would. Just as soon as it gets to the end, and you think you have more chain than you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, be good looking. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm one of those guys. I try to give it more securement than actually I give it more than the minimum. That's just me. Yeah. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Right.
Safe than sorry. Especially now doing this, like you said, people don't really know about that rock and that RGN. And right. You even got more rock when you got a Jeep on there. Because I'm looking at getting a Jeep, man. I really am.
That's your. I'm going to tell you something right now. You oversized drivers, you all have the same syndrome. You all want a bigger trailer. There's always a bigger load out there. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like me in high school gym. I'm just telling you, there's always something bigger there. I'm just telling you that. All right. So you will chase more freight. You'll be like, oh man, if I could just had an extra axle, I could have hauled that load right there.
Yeah.
You get an extra axle, and then you're like, oh, look at that load right there. I need a Jeep. And then next thing you know, you get a Jeep, and you're like, oh, I need a spreader bar. And it never ends.
Hey, for you know it, you got a $350,000 trailer.
And then you're like, where'd all the freight go?
Yeah.
This ain't nothing new. It's been happening. Like I said, it's over. I've been in oversized for 15 years, and it's always the same. And a lot of times, and that's why I say find your niche. Find your niche. And once you find, like I found my niche in tall and wide. I don't do as much heavy, because for me, tall and wide, it's easier to take up the whole road than lift a bridge. But nobody likes doing height. Height's usually the most, the scarier things. But no, there's a lot of movement, and with that trailer leaning and stuff, and it's something you don't expect until you scrape something. You're like, oh, son of a bitch, and that's when it's like, now I know, and it takes time.
It can cost you dearly.
Yeah, it can, and like I said, so it's definitely something that I don't normally suggest. And we all started this conversation by skipping from reefer to RGN. I suggest it needs to be something that you can make very good money in it. You absolutely can, but it's something that you should approach slowly and learn the processes on how to get there, so that when you do get there, you're ready to go.
Yeah. And I talk to a lot of older drivers.
Hang on, this is actually my Landstar guy.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all watch my channel. I interview a lot of people, and those people that I interview, 9 times out of 10 are the people I'm asking questions. I always ask questions. And one of the last interviews I did, the guy told me, he said, once you start doing this heavy haul, it's addictive. And it is. It is. You start chasing more weight. You start chasing more width. You start chasing more height. And to me, so far, the height has been the scariest part. The scariest part. Because at least on width, I got to hold my hands. I got to give my camera. At least on width, you have a good sense of depth perception. You got to move over. You got to do this. You got to watch this curve. You got to watch that tiger tail on the road. Especially how low you are to the ground with the RGN freight. So to me, the height is the scariest thing, because you see that bridge, most bridges, especially you go out west, you're at 15 anyway. So you're pretty good. But always check your pole card. Even though he got his thing set, you want to go check to make sure his pole is tall enough. Because remember, once you accept that load, you are responsible for that load. So if you need to double check your pole card 2 or 3 times, that's what you need to do. Yeah.
That was actually Landstar Heavy Haul calling me.
Oh man, hey, you gonna book me on that load, man? I need a good one. I'm trying to get out the house, man.
This one, yeah. Well, I'm trying to work one now, but I have to. That's the other thing too is when I talk to Heavy Haul, the agent. I work with an agent, so when I talk with Heavy Haul about something, they want to know what it is, because sometimes when a Landstar agent will submit a quote, they'll submit a quote for 35 feet long, and it's an excavator, and it only really needs 18 feet in the well, right?
Yeah.
So, so a lot of times they'll ask what it is, and I'll have to say, no, it's not an excavator. It's an actual, what it is, and then they can submit it. Oh, okay, thanks. Because needs to be put on a step deck stretch, so they want to make sure that what it was, so that it's too much for a double top.
Eric, yeah, I learned majority of my securement here at Landstar. I did do step deck briefly. I did do flatbed briefly for an owner operator before I came to Landstar. That was briefly. That was my first taste of it. Yeah. Got anything else, Sage? I ain't gonna be on here too much longer.
I was gonna jump on, let you do your thing. I just wanted to jump on and say, say hey and talk a little bit with you, and like I said, make sure you guys hit the like button, because that helps out a lot, so we can get out and get seen, and people can gather his information and catch it. So, if you would please just hit the like button, and like I said, I don't see a wrench. Who's the wrenches in this channel? Nobody has wrench.
I ain't never learned how to hand out wrenches.
Oh Lord!
I got to YouTube it.
Yeah, you have to go over to the YouTube chat, and there's 3 dots, and you can basically give somebody a wrench right there. So.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll definitely do that. You definitely get one. But y'all please check out the Great Freight Sage. He has an awesome show. He also has a podcast, and as well as a membership now. I got my notification today.
Good, yeah. It's like $3 a month, and I'll be doing some sending out like stickers and stuff like that. And there'll be some videos on the membership side and stuff like that for those guys who want to do the membership. It's like I said, it goes a long way, and it's kind of like just showing support, for the information and things like that. Also, Lean Trucker's in there, and Call Me Cooley. Those are other 2 guys that you guys need to check out, especially the Lean Trucker. I got my hat from Lean Trucker here. I'm in my hat. So definitely check these guys out. There's a lot of content creators that are giving a lot of information, and they put a lot of time and they're giving a lot of their free time. Just like D-Way. And it means a lot when you guys click that like button and show that support and leave comments and stuff. And like I said, it means a lot when we do that stuff. So that way we know we're doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, and it keeps me in the algorithm to spread out more information.
Plus he's constantly fighting against YouTube to push him down. So we gotta help him out. We gotta help him out against the YouTube.
Yeah. So. Hey, thanks, Sage. You have a great one.
You too. See ya.
All right. Well, y'all, appreciate y'all coming in. It's your boy Gangsta G-Way. Peace. I'm out, y'all. Holler when you see me.